I'm going to do things a little bit differently for what is the coolest new addition in the 29 model calendar year to our automotive landscape, and that is this, the 2020 Jeep Gladiator. What am I going to do differently? Check this out. All right. So because they extended the wheelbase, they could have put in a regular door, but I don't know, make ingress, egress a little bit easier. Rear seat, a little bit difficult. The seat back does not recline, obviously, and the bottom cushion is very flat, which means for a lot of baby seats, you see how it doesn't sit flat there? Obviously, I haven't gone on a long road trip with my son sitting in his seat, but that's something to consider. Otherwise, for normal adults, there's a fair amount of room back here. Final issue, and that's what I'm showing you, issues with the Gladiator. This thing needs a footrest. I did a little bit of off-roading, and it would have been nice to have a place to put my left foot to hold me in place. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, the absolute coolest vehicle on the road, the toy, I don't know. When I see my 3-year-old son freak out every time I show up at daycare to pick him up in this thing, I feel like a 3-year-old. There's just something about the Gladiator. It just emotionally it just tugs at the heartstrings. Anyway, there is potentially another quasi issue with the Gladiator, and that's the fact that the Sport S, the base Gladiator, starts at $46,995. My Overland, this is an Overland, still trail rated obviously, starts at $50,995. And the Rubicon, in my opinion, the version you need to get, it starts at $53,995. My tester right here has a number of options, including navigation, leather, the cold weather package with a heated steering wheel, heated seats, tow package, rear locking differential, and LED lighting. I seriously, when I turned the headlights on the first night I had the truck, I was the one blinded by my headlights and not the guy in front of me. It's actually quite crazy when you first turn them on. Okay, so can you guess what the grand total is? Yeah, just under $61,000. $61,000, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the point of the Gladiator is obviously ceci, right? The bed. So what's cool about the bed, or I should say the door? Yes, it's sprung. I'm gonna try and see if I can do this with just one hand. Is it gonna work? Yes. All right, so there's your bed. It's slightly compromised in a sense. You can see that it's not very deep. It's only 5 feet deep that way. It'll hold, volume-wise, about 1,000 liters. It's easy to remember. The payload capacity is about 1,100 pounds, give or take the gearing, the model, and all of that. This cover, which is a must, is also an option. It looks great too. But that's it. I mean, still, it's very usable as long as you know what you're getting yourself into. I showed you what goes on back there. Up front, there's your leather seats. Thing with these Jeeps, the Wrangler, the Gladiator, is that they recently swung right into the 21st century. Easter eggs everywhere. This thing is absolutely wonderful. The gauges are beautiful. Love the center readout. Everything is perfect. The steering wheel, great grip, leather covered. And here's your main screen up here. Oh, there's your heated steering wheel button, so I wasn't lying. All your setup, you get satellite radio as well. Audio slave, nice. HVAC controls, and obviously a lot of redundant HVAC controls because you can have them. See, there's your heated seats. There's your climate controls, but I love that. I mean, it's all there, it's all useful. Bunch of auxiliary plugins, your power windows. Currently, I'm in, can you see it? No, maybe, no. There we go. I'm in 4 high because I had to go through a little rut to get in here. Yes, that was my hairy leg. 8-speed automatic transmission, which is one of the options in my tester. Otherwise, there's another Easter egg. Boom, can you see that right in the middle of your screen? The fit and finish, look at this. There's stitching on a dash in what is essentially a Wrangler. It is absolutely beautiful, nicely put together. And, well, what you do with the Wrangler is I kind of did things upside down. You'll notice that it's a little bit muddy. You gotta go slightly off-roading, so here we go. Good God, I love this truck. I mean, all right, so I might not be in the exact same location as where I was just shooting, but obviously I know my hood a little bit, so I thought I'd take my Gladiator Overland. So I'm doing a little bit of mild off-roading, if you will, and despite these very street biased tires, and I'm only in 4 high, the Overland, the Gladiator, the Jeep is just, it's a cakewalk, obviously, as you would expect in any Wrangler and any Jeep product. I will admit that I did chicken out because a little further back it got really rutty and very muddy, but I figure if I had a Rubicon to drive, I would have gone all the way. Given that this is an Overland, well, I chickened out a little bit, but that's on me. I'm sure the Gladiator would have managed that very, very easily. 4 high into 2 high. That's obviously not the real trick. Like the Gladiator's real trick, the new Wrangler's real trick. The mud is flinging in the wheel flares. I'm gonna have to get this thing washed. The real trick is that now this Jeep, the Wrangler, the Gladiator, has never been more civilized, more comfortable, and in fact never more so than in the Gladiator with the extended wheelbase. This new Jeep is supremely comfortable. In fact, it's everything about the Gladiator is right. I mean, I kind of showed you the few things that are wrong, but I mean, do they really even apply in the real world? No, they don't. And the V6 3.6 liter, which is the engine under my the bonnet of my tester, which puts out a very well-known 295 horsepower and 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque, it's not the most powerful. The 2-liter turbo in the Wrangler is a little bit more punchy, but somehow the V6 in the Gladiator, the sounds and the way everything else behaves is just spot on perfect. And I mean, it's sufficiently quick to get things up there. I mean, a single tow up to 7,600 pounds, 7,650 pounds with relative ease. I mean, it's more than enough in its category. I believe it's the best if you include other large, compact / mid-sized pickups. But the Overland Edition specifically is for what I'm doing right now. Not that it can't do what I just did, because obviously it just managed it, but it's the tires really that make the entire difference. My tester, as I've mentioned, has the optional rear locking differential, which is just that much more cool should you ever decide to go off-roading despite the road biased tires. If I had to complain about one of the mechanical aspects, the electro-hydraulic steering. It's I don't remember in the last Wrangler that I drove that it was so sloppy, but I mean, it's a Wrangler, it's a Gladiator, it's not a sports car, so all things considered, it's perfectly fine again. I love the brake pedal feel, it's really nice, and the 8-speed automatic is just perfect. I mean, it's always in the right gear. I have not had any issue whatsoever with it hunting for a gear. Again, I've said it in a few reviews, an 8-speed auto is the absolute perfect sweet spot when it comes to the number of gears. I mean, this thing obviously has solid axles at both ends, but the ride quality is so good. There's a little bit of ambient noise, but what the hell do you expect? This is a Jeep Gladiator / Wrangler. This latest generation of the Wrangler is making me all kinds of funny feelings, and I am absolutely loving it. I am so into the Gladiator vibe and the hype. This thing is just, it's beyond cool. It is like the I don't know how to say it properly. It's the toy of toys, especially in a Rubicon trim. This thing is freaking expensive. I mean, starts at just almost $51,000. But damn it, is it not? For the fun factor, for the cool factor, for all that, it is absolutely worth it. This thing is totally the bomb. I absolutely love it.